We're here at the DARPA annual Robotics Challenge, where 16 teams are competing to have the chance of winning $2 million. It's a cutting-edge event, and only the finest of the experimental robotic industry are allowed to compete. Alongside the competition, there's this exposition where hundreds of companies are showing the latest technology in experimental robotics. Obviously, the military is one of the main recipients of this kind of technology. For instance, this suit, called the Superflex and developed under the War Web program, is a great example. But when something becomes the centre of a DARPA challenge, there is a strong chance that we see it on the streets rather sooner than later. The best example would be drones. For Richard Mahoney from SRI International, drones are precisely going to change the world, and the perception that people have from drones will change with time.
And it's definitely, and so the term drone now is getting the negative view, and there's this negative perspective on it, but at the same time people are starting to see Amazon drones, and I think over time the name will normalize a little bit more. And we actually, some of our work, we're building manipulators that are allow you to work remotely, and I refer to them as manipulation drones. So imagine something that's not flying around, but being able to log in and be a farmer logging on and doing farming remotely, or being able to clean someone's house remotely through a machine. So it's another form of robot, which I think over time the name will play out to be a positive and actually creating lots of good applications for people.
The reality is that robotics are growing massively, and the proof of it is that Google has just acquired 8 robotic companies in the last month alone. And this move by Google is thought to trigger a domino effect of private investment in the field. These participants are, for the moment, competing over a $2 million prize. The robot behind me is about to try and complete the ladder challenge. This ladder challenge consists in going up the 8 steps of the ladder, something that in theory looks like something relatively easy, but it's not. This is not like the sci-fi movies. It's very different. I spoke to the man in charge of this precise task, and he said he put a whole year of work, and he's still not confident that the robot can even go up a couple of steps. So that gives you an idea of the work that actually goes behind all these projects.
Well, certainly for certain applications, humans are much cheaper and much more useful. But the point of the DARPA Robotics Challenge is, they brought up the issue of Hiroshima and dangerous situations. This is kind of the first step to using robots, because robots can go where humans can't. And then eventually, once they get cheaper, once they get more capable, this might be 10, 20, 50 years down the line. It'll be based on the work that we're doing today.
The 16 teams come from the United States, China, Japan and Korea. And with higher private investment, one can only predict that next year's competition will be even more impressive. Nicholas O'Donovan, RT, Florida.